the renowned, highly sought after, but never caught. It's bigger than you. It's as big as the screen. You literally catch. Yes, I said it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nintendo Didn't So We Did podcast. And in this video today, I'm going to be talking about 3 features that Animal Crossing could add that would spice up the quality of life in the town and add a few amazing new explorative features. So let's dive into the video together, shall we? Today we're covering 3 exciting gameplay expansions that I've designed for the next Animal Crossing potentially. The 3 that we're tackling today is Birdwatching and expanding the Critterpedia, and finally, the moon itself now changes the gameplay every single day. By the end of this video, you know how to photograph birds, what creatures you can collect in the next game, potentially, and why checking the lunar calendar might just become a daily part of your routine. Let's jump into it. Now, this first feature is a personal one. I would love to see birdwatching added to Animal Crossing. Birdwatching is a personal joy and love of my past. When I was a smaller lad, I used to enjoy birdwatching a lot more than I did now. But recently I've been trying to slow things down and I've been hearing some mourning doves, and it takes me back to my childhood when I used to admire birds a lot more. In fact, I was probably what you could have called a junior ornithologist. By the way, the study of ornithology, which is bird watching and bird studies essentially, will be used a lot in this video, so make sure you learn ornithology or ornithologist, which is a studier of birds. And so, I used to love the colors of birds. I used to learn the bird calls. I used to have a bird watching book that I would just totally soak in and just enjoy learning about the different species and the different sizes and just where I could find these birds and eventually view them. And I made it my mission when I was younger to view every bird in my book. And unfortunately, I never did make that goal. But who's to say that I could never do that into the future? Cue bird watching being added to Animal Crossing. I can finally maybe live out my childhood goal of bird watching, even if it is just in a game. Now, what is bird watching and why bird watching? Well, birds have always existed to some capacity in Animal Crossing, not just as anthropomorphic animals in the game, obviously they have been a part of that since the beginning, but the birds that would sit on the bulletin boards or that would fly overhead, or even birds that would congregate near Harv in the Animal Crossing New Leaf Welcome Amiibo update. Now, these birds can actually be wildlife that you can discover. We'll talk in just a minute about how you can discover birds, but let's talk about how birds can appear. They can now appear in different conditions. So, birds could appear in different weather, times of day, times of month, different seasonal birds, holiday birds, and special event birds. Depending on how welcoming your town, certain birds can appear in. Near different trees, around ecological decorations such as a bird feeder or bird house, or by just simply placing bird feeders around. You might get a different effect. Now, you won't be able to find every bird immediately. This is something that rewards players for paying attention over time and learning more about them by asking different NPCs or admiring the world around you. So what this does is add not only similar to fish and bugs, how you can, catch them to learn more about them and adds a collectible feature to the game. This causes players to slow down, stop, listen to hear if they might hear a bird call or see a feather on the ground. Let's talk about how that works. Every bird has its own unique call that mimics the real life bird call that the bird would make. Each bird will even have unique behaviors that are exclusive to it. Some like to chitter along the ground, others like to nest in trees, some are by the water, and players can hear a bird, look up or around, search nearby trees, or look around for that bird. By the way, I would love the next Animal Crossing to be a 360-degree view where you can view buildings, trees, and everything in the world around you from 360 full degrees. And you can follow the sound to find where this bird might be. Sometimes you miss a bird, you scare it away, it flies away. But often they will leave behind a feather that gives you a hint as to what kind of bird that it was that you were missing out on. Feathers now become collectible items. But birds themselves cannot be collected. We're not that inhumane. We're not literally catching birds. We have a different method on how to capture birds. And think of it like kind of like a Pokedex registering creatures. Spotting a bird just in the town unlocks a silhouette. It will appear as a gray outline in your adventure book. This is a physical book that you can keep in your inventory, that you can walk around with, open up, and view your progress as to how many birds, how many bugs, how many fish, and how many other creatures you've caught, or admired at least, in the game. But simply seeing a bird is not enough. It's enough to register it as a shadow, but to officially discover it, you have to take a picture of them. You can admire birds through binoculars, or if you truly want to discover the bird, you can take a picture using your Nook phone, or if you have not unlocked the Nook phone yet, you can actually use a camera item to take a picture. Now, taking a picture does 3 things for you. It registers it into what I like to call the Ornithopedia, which is basically your Critterpedia for birds. It will save a picture on your memory card, and it adds it to what I said before, adventure book. Now this becomes less about catching every single bird or every single bug or item that you see, and more about patience. Teaches you all about patience in this game. Now, even though we've changed the way that the museum works in my conceptualized game of Animal Crossing Small Town Big City, which we've been talking about this whole time if you didn't know, there's a mega document in the description below if you want to check out what that looks like. I have everything documented here that I'm talking about today. But museum will actually be adding an ornithology exhibit where you can go and you can visit that and talk to a new expert NPC on the subject. You could even unlock, by seeing enough birds and capturing them via photos, unlock special rewards as your collection grows. It could be pictures of a robin or a hummingbird, and this can unlock special furniture, exclusive clothing, or even a place to store your rare feathers. Now, you're probably wondering, Koopa, what kind of birds can you even find in this game? They're not just going to be random generic white birds that appear, or even the owls that appear on your bulletin board. These are going to be in-game versions of real-life birds with real calls you want to look at, you want to take pictures of, and it just adds an immersion to your town even more than what we have already. So a couple examples of what I'd like to add to the game is the mourning dove, bringing you back to that childhood nostalgia. A robin, which is a year-round bird. Hummingbirds that are small little birds that are attracted by sugar water feeders. Crows that appear in the fall. Gulls that appear over the water. Woodpeckers that climb up and down trees and hide. Owls that appear at night. And the mysterious red-crowned crane, which is a very special bird that appears a lot in Japanese culture. Now, these are obviously not the full list of birds that are going to be available. I like to have some odd 100 birds available in the game, and I haven't quite mapped them all out yet. I'd love to hear your input as to what birds that you would like to see in an Animal Crossing game if they added bird watching to it. So I need you to help me out by writing in the comments below what kind of bird or birds that you want to see if Animal Crossing added bird watching. And birds weren't enough, let's talk about literally hundreds of new creatures that I'd like to add to Animal Crossing with our Critterpedia expansion. Now, the Critterpedia and Animal Crossing Small Town Big City has grown exponentially. Instead of just our bugs, our fish, and our deep sea creatures, we're actually adding 2 new categories that I've talked about a little bit in the past and teased. But let's first talk about bugs in that category. I'd like to increase the number of bugs from 70 to 100 bugs. I'd like there to be more of a variety, more seasonal collecting, and more completion goals. I've also included caterpillars as bugs that you can catch and admire up close. We've also added a new category of a subtype, if you will, of bugs, and that would be cave creatures. Now, this is an entirely new collection. that I've added in addition to the brand new feature of mysterious caves that appear in your small town. At least 2 mysterious caves will appear in every small town, and they are locked until you get certain tools that you can use to break the rocks in front of them. And once you do, you can start exploring these mysterious caves and all the creatures that are available within them. There are 30 cave creatures to collect. Some examples of these include giant cave spiders, salamanders, and even bats. But there's a catch. Some creatures are dangerous, similar to tarantulas or scorpions in the game already. Touch one, and you're kicked back to the outside of the cave, losing all of your progress. It adds some risk to exploration of these caves, but I think this would be an awesome feature. And I've included a full list of what cave creatures you can expect for my conceptualized game, or maybe what could come in the next Animal Crossing game. If you want to check those out, the list for all the new bugs I've added, all the new cave creatures, and all the next category that I'm about to talk about will be available in that mega document if you can find it. Moving on to fish. We've kept the number of fish at 80, but we've added a new feature and a couple improvements to the subcategory of the deep sea creatures, and added a brand new category as well that I'm about to talk about. So stay on the line with me. I'd like to add a special quality of life improvement, and that is if you catch a fish, you will automatically be able to view that fish in the water the next time you come across one swimming in the water. That means that any fish that is a shadow is a fish that you have never caught yet. So what this does is basically it gives you a certain amount of stakes when catching a rare fish that you happen to see in the water. Makes things a little bit easier. It saves you some time. Your time is obviously very valuable. So playing all day just to catch one fish and not knowing which one it is because there's just a million shadows is kind of inconvenient. We need to modernize this. So once you catch a fish, it's registered into your adventure book, and then you will be able to view that fish swimming in the water, similar to how even if you don't catch a bug or have never seen it before, it's right there in front of you. You can catch it. But with fish, we're taking away a little bit of that mystery in this version. And I'd like to add a little bit of stakes to it. So if you see a fish that you've already caught swimming around, it makes your heart pound all that much more, especially if it's a rare fish, that if I miss this, I'll know that that fish that was rare, or that fish that my villager is asking me to catch, to barter for, or trade for, it all goes out the window. I might not be able to catch one of these today again. And so it adds a little bit more stakes while helping with some of that slog of the game. Just like, ugh, man, catching the same fish over and over again. Maybe I don't have to catch that sea bass anymore because I can see it's sea bass and I'm going to avoid it. It helps save time, and it's a great quality of life feature. We've also expanded deep sea creatures from, I believe, 30 to 50 total. This is a much larger collection for you, and it gives you reasons to dive year-round to catch these rare fish. But the biggest and most surprise addition is a new subtype called giant ocean creatures. This is an entirely new category that we've added to accommodate the new boat feature. Yes, I said boat in my conceptualized game. If you have not heard about the cave creatures or the caves or boats, I'm gonna put a card up on the screen right now that you can check that out for yourself. I've already done a full podcast and video on that topic, so check that out and dive in. These giant ocean creatures, they have some requirements that are involved in order to catch them. There's 2 prerequisites. Number 1, you have to have a boat that can fit more than 2 people in it unlocked, because these are giant ocean creatures, and so you need to be able to have a boat that can support the weight of these creatures. Secondly, you have to unlock the golden fishing rod. The way that you unlock it in this game is through a storyline. And so if you complete the storyline, you will be given the silver fishing rod, which can help you exponentially with your catch rate. It's a quick-ish progression to unlocking the golden fishing rod, which can help you unlock these special sea creatures, including the renowned, the highly sought after but never caught whale. Yes, I said it. The whale will be a catchable giant ocean creature Now, just for context, the whale could actually be a shadow that was seen when you traveled in between your town and the island that was available in the original Animal Crossings via GBA link cable. So if you would travel back and forth, you could actually have a small chance to literally see the giant whale that would appear on screen. And so I'd like to actually make that giant shadow appear one more time in the ocean. And you can actually catch it in this game. To be able to haul in this big giant thing, it's bigger than you, it's as big as the screen, you literally catch a whale. I think that'd be so cool. I want to finish with a dark secret. And I don't mean dark as in like evil. I mean a secret that comes out in the dark. And this is a gameplay feature that would exponentially change the experience in your small town. This is moon phases. Now, the moon in past games has been something that visually would appear in the sky. It doesn't really do too much, but the moon now matters, not just visually, but will matter mechanically in the game. And here's how I plan to do it. There are 8 moon phases. Each one has a cycle that follows the real world moon cycle that is happening in the world today. So those phases are a new moon, a waxing crescent, a first quarter moon, a waxing gibbous, and a full moon, a waning gibbous, a third quarter, and a waning crescent, and then back to the new moon, and the cycle starts all over again. Now, the moon can also appear in the daytime, as it happens to in real life sometimes, which has always been a mystery to me. So in the game, there'll never be any question exactly what phase of the moon you're in, but exactly what the phase specifically does is something that I'm leaving in ambiguity. See, even though you can know the current phase by looking up in the sky or maybe even consulting like a calendar, for example, just to know exactly where the moon is in that phase, the ambiguity of it all is that you just never know how the current moon phase will affect your town. And full moon, for example, may even affect the way that your villagers act in a full moon. You may be even able to catch some rare cave creatures or rare bugs or rare fish when the moon is full. And when the moon is not full, when it's a new moon and it's completely dark out, there may also be implications for that. Or maybe it's a certain quarter or a waxing or waning gibbous. I mean, take of that what you will. That's pretty intense. So you can kind of learn some moon facts from Celeste. We're bringing Celeste back to the museum. You can go to the city, travel to the museum, and you can talk to her and find some facts about the moon and learn about lunar effects naturally. Or you could just stumble upon them, like talk to villagers, and they'll give you a fact about the phase of the moon when talking to them. Hey, I saw this mysterious island pop up. I wonder it has to do with the moon. Or talk to Isabel and she'll talk about rare owls that might appear. Or a cranky villager might automatically become even crankier during a full moon. It could affect your dialogue, your moods, the interactions with your animal villagers, and maybe even affect the interactions that you have with them. Even if you might have a high friendship level, they may still be upset at you or be angry for no apparent reason. Well, there is a reason. It's because it's the moon. It adds a lot more personality and immersion into the world. Now, this is why this matters. None of these systems feel isolated. Birdwatching, fishing, exploration, villagers, ocean tides, even mysterious islands. Everything now connects through the lunar cycle. In fact, the only way to catch some of these bugs and fish will to be watching the tides. And tides are affected differently based off of the lunar cycle and time of day. So we've covered tides before. There's different tidal levels, which include different water levels that allow you to visit certain islands that are available in the ocean via boats, traveling to them and stuff like that. And certain caves that are only accessible through certain low tides. And so this is all connected. And this really makes me feel like the game is a lot more alive by implementing these features. And maybe you do too. These 3 updates to the game could make Animal Crossing feel so much more alive than before. Birdwatching encouraged players to slow down and observe their town. The expanded Critterpedia gives collectors hundreds of new goals to chase. And the moon transforms the entire world into something that's constantly changing every single day. I'd love to hear which feature you're most excited for if this were to be added to the next Animal Crossing game. Is it for photographing rare birds, hunting for whales, exploring dangerous caves, or uncovering every secret hidden within the moon phases? If you enjoyed this discussion and the Nintendo Didn't So We Did podcast, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let us know what feature you'd like us to reveal next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. This has been the Nintendo Didn't So We Did podcast. You can be sure to find more videos like this here on our channel, the MFC. Or if you'd like to, you can go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts for even more. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.